안녕하십니까. 민주중앙일보 최인성입니다. 룩킹포맘은 7, 90년대 미국으로 온 입양아들을 소개하고 한국의 친부모와 가족을 찾는 그런 프로젝트입니다. 어린 나이에 가족을 잃었고 또 다른 나라, 다른 문화에서 삶을 시작한 한국인 입양아 숫자는 무려 한국전쟁 이후에 20만 명에 달한다고 하죠. 룩킹포맘은 한인 입양아들이 이렇게 엄마를 찾고 가족을 찾는 과정은 보호받아야 할 권리라고 믿고 카메라를 계속 켜겠습니다. 자, 다른 환경과 조건들을 겪게 되면 입양아들도 당연히 다양한 방식과 모습으로 성장하게 되는데요. 84년 뉴욕으로 입양된 뒤에 어른이 되고 이후 대학 교수로 성장한 그런 소녀가 있습니다. 입양 어머니를 만나 받은 영감으로 공부를 했고 또 할머니의 도움도 많이 있었다고 하는데요. 친부모를 찾기 위해서 약혼자와 방문한 북한산에서, 한국 북한산에서 청혼을 받아 결혼을 하기도 했습니다. 룩킹포맘은 오늘 뉴욕의 헤더 슐츠, 허미영 씨와 이야기를 나눠봅니다. 안녕하세요, 허미영 씨.
안녕하세요.
네, 반갑습니다. How are you?
I'm doing well, and yourself, Brian?
I'm doing wonderful. You got married recently.
Yes, I got married last month, May 15th.
How did it go?
It was absolutely magical. I couldn't have asked for a better wedding. The weather was perfect,
Okay.
amazing company, great food. There was no food left.
Okay. We'll get to your marriage and a proposal part later, a little bit later, so we won't want to lose you there. Now, according to your paperwork, it was July 84. Now, what happened before you come to the States, as far as you know, according to the documents you have pretty much had so far?
According to the documents that I received from Eastern Social Welfare Society, I was born in a birth clinic in Seoul, and I was kept there for a week because the workers at the birth clinic were hoping that my birth parents would come back for me, but after my birth mother delivered me, she didn't come back.
I see. You actually have your birth mom's name, and do you know why she gave up on you?
The story that I received from Eastern Social Welfare Society is that my birth parents were married at the time that they gave birth to me.
Okay.
And my birth father lost his job. And because I have two birth brothers, they weren't able to support a third child. And that's why they put me up for adoption.
That's what the document says. Do you totally believe that?
I do not completely believe that because I myself have never seen that information in print.
Now, which document tells you that your birth mom's name is Ho Okja, if I'm not mistaken?
One of the forms from the Eastern Social Welfare Society, one of the intake forms, I think that's my initial social history form.
I see. Now, this is the picture I have right here. And it says from the foster home. It looks like your foster mom and you right there. And it says all the paperwork's ready probably, and you're ready to take off. Is that right?
I believe so, yes.
Were you able to get a hold of this foster mom or the foster family that you were with?
During my first visit to Korea in 2014, I was told that my foster mother passed away. And after I was brought to Eastern Social Welfare Society from the clinic, I was with my foster mother for 3 months before I came to New York.
Now we have another picture that when you arrived at the airport. Is this in New York?
This is when I came to New York. That's actually my arrival date at JFK Airport, November 10th, 1984.
I see.
And
That's when you were like a 3-month or 4-month old?
4 months, yes.
It looks like this is your adopted mom and dad, right?
Correct.
I have another picture that you sent me. This one with the adopted mom. You right there, right? I guess
Yes.
when you arrived at home. Got it.
I'm not sure how old I was in that picture and what year that was exactly. That was back at our house.
Your adopted mom was beautiful.
Thank you. Yes,
I like her
yes, she
smile.
was.
Okay, speaking of adopted family, you mentioned your adopted mom and also your grandma, how gracious she was. The grandma we're talking, your adopted father's mother, right? Tell us more about these two women who gave you this incredible inspiration to all the way up here.
Despite my mother's terminal illness, she had multiple sclerosis. She still adopted me because she wanted me that badly. And when I got back from Korea, from the first time I went in 2014, my father gave me a journal that my mother wrote for me because she wanted me to read that as an adult. And she wrote 65 diary entries from 1984 to 1987, and she completely documented the entire adoption process when she and my father first received my picture and why they decided to name me after Heavy the Flower, and when they found out that my birth name is Homiyong, and Miyong means beautiful and prosperous, and when she got me in New York, when I was brought to New York, she documented my first birthday and all these family gatherings. And it's just incredible, all the memories that she put down in this journal. And to this day, I still have not read everything in the journal. And what really sticks out to me was this article that was published in Newsday, a newspaper in Long Island. And my mother, despite having multiple sclerosis, she didn't let MS dictate her life. And she still completed a 5-kilometer race despite being in a wheelchair, which I think is amazing.
Wow.
And it's a testament to her grit. And Brian, can I share a quote that from the article?
Yeah, please. Go.
So this is a quote from my mother in this article by Ed Lowe. This was the first time I did anything like that, she said of the race. I did the first mile by myself. My husband pushed me the second mile because I was so tired. He wanted to push me for the third mile too, but I said, no way, I want to finish this. This was a run for MS, and I was the only one there who had MS. It took so long, I figured they would all be gone. I thought they'd all go home, but they were waiting for me. They waited an hour. They were all entitled to awards and everything, but they weren't doing anything until I came back, and they waited. They were so great, all of them. And the name of this story is called The Real Winner Came and Laughed.
Wow. I think that kind of things only exist in the drama or the Hollywood movie, but it actually happened, huh?
It actually happened. And in the journal that she gave me, this beautiful gift that I have, she wanted me to know as I grew up that she didn't want me to forget my Korean roots.
I see.
And she actually mentioned that there was a family not that far away from my house growing up that also adopted a Korean girl from the same agency based in Pennsylvania, Love the Children, which is no longer running. And she mentioned in the diary that she hopes that one day I will be able to meet her.
I see. Interesting. I have this little picture. Looks like a kindergarten or elementary. You know
That
what?
was a preschool picture.
Is it? You know what? I can see your mom right there in your smile.
Thank you.
Isn't that nice? Yeah, I do see her right there. I guess this is the first, what we call 돌잔치, right? The first ever birthday.
First birthday. And she did her research. She tried to make it as authentically Korean as she could.
Did you do any like grabbing things?
I don't know if there was any grabbing, but she did make sure that there was fruit, and there was that fruit in the picture.
Wow. Obviously, the adopted children going through a lot. I'm sure you did. But especially this interracial adoption can have a twist and turn. Tell us more about your experience and how helped you shape yourself in the future.
Sure. I grew up in Farmingdale in Long Island, which is on the border of Nassau and Suffolk County, and I was one of the few Asians in my neighborhood. So I was very well aware of my race growing up, and I actually experienced racism when I was in elementary school, in 3rd and 4th grade, and I was really upset about that because I didn't understand why my classmates did not like me based upon my skin tone, and one of them went as far to slant his eyes, mocking the shape of my eyes as a child, and it was really traumatic for me. I feared going to school every day in 3rd grade.
So it's like you're talking to your mom, which was Caucasian in the family setting, but you go to school, it's very hostile. And we're talking not like the 70s or 60s, we're talking early 90s, right? So I was born in 84, so late 80s, early 90s, yes. I see. Wow. So to encourage you to talk more about your family and your history, we have a group of students who organized this 룩킹포맘 supporter group. This nice little young lady was able to pull this short video for you. Are you ready to watch this?
I'm ready.
Yeah, let's watch this. Yay.
Hi Heather, I'm a member of the Youth Elephant Project and I'm so excited to be here talking to you today. I just really wanted to take the chance to tell you how much your story has impacted us elephant leaders. I can't even begin to explain how your courage and your strong will, just your perseverance has really inspired us. It really honestly amazed me how you were able to grow from the difficulties that you've experienced and instead was able to provide support and insight for others. Your essays and your interviews made me and so many other people aspire to really build a better life, bettering ourselves and improving each and every day. Your strength has really taught me a lesson, one about not giving up and learning from your adversity. Although you may not have known it, you were really a beacon of hope to me during this pandemic. I wanted to give my thanks by creating a piece dedicated to you. I used ink and played around with the concept of lost hands to create rhythm. Although I couldn't provide a time-lapse, I hope that this art can represent your story as incredible and graceful as it is. A true thank you for all the amazing influence that you've given to all of us. We are always supporting you behind your back. You got this. Stay strong. Woo!
That's a message from Candace Choi from Southern California. How did you like it?
Wow, I am so grateful, and hearing and seeing this beautiful video message from Candace really keeps me going in terms of sharing my story with the universe. And I truly see vulnerability as a strength, not a weakness. And I am glad that by me sharing my story, I am empowering and inspiring others. And this really made my day. Thank you so much.
Sure. Now I have the NBC News that covered your story. Actually, you traveled to Korea twice. I'm going to make sure that we have a link down here in the video. And if I'm not mistaken, these are the photos of 2019 picture, right?
So the picture of me in the hanbok at Dongdaemun Market, that was from October 2019. And then the other picture where I'm standing in front of Eastern Social Welfare Society, that's from my first visit in October 2014.
I see. Okay. What was it like visiting this Eastern Social Welfare, where you were kind of processed to be adopted out of country? What was it like when you opened the door for this office?
I definitely did my research that summer. So back in 2014, I just turned 30 years old, and I graduated from Baruch College with my Master of Public Administration. And at that time, I was living with my grandmother, my adopted father's mother, who I share a very strong bond with. When I came to JFK in November 1984, my grandmother was the first one to hold me.
I see.
And she jokes around that my mother forgave her after that. My grandma has a good sense of humor. And she asked me what I wanted as my joint 30th birthday present / graduation present. And she asked me if I wanted to travel or if I wanted to party. And I said, Grandma, I want to travel. And the first country that came to mind was Korea. So in the process of my preparation for the trip, I reached out to Eastern Social Welfare Society, submitted the necessary documentation to schedule a meeting with them during October 2014. And I stayed with a friend when I was in Korea. I spent time in Seoul, Busan, and Jeju Island for a total of 3 weeks. It was incredible. And she came with me to Eastern Social Welfare Society. And I'm really glad I had that support because it was a very emotional experience.
Well, what's
to
her
go through my file.
I see. What's her name? Does she live in the States or she lives in Korea?
She lives in Seoul.
Okay. Can you mention her name?
Her name is Young Choi.
Okay. Now, your trip to Korea back in 2014 was kind of, plausible. But then you came back again with a certain proof or evidence that you will find your mom back in 2019 with your fiancé. And there was a little toss and turn. And what happened? And whose mistake was it?
So let's back up. So when I first went to Korea in 2014, I was told by Eastern Social Welfare Society that because there was such limited information in my file, they weren't really able to help me find my birth mother because the only bit of information that they had was my birth mother's name. No date of birth, no ID number, no address, and no identifying information on my birth brothers or my birth father. And they told me this when I met with them back in October 2014. And when I came back to New York, I followed up with them and they put a call out to KAS, which is now the National Center for Rights of the Child. And it just came back, we can't help Heather because there's still limited information. I even had Young Choi reach out to a friend of hers who knew a Korean policeman, Sergeant Lee, who has a very strong reputation for reuniting adoptees with their birth families, and he wasn't able to help me. So after that, I was very discouraged back in 2014, but in 2015, I submitted my DNA sample to 23andMe. And when I did that, I was connected with my second cousin who lives in the Los Angeles area. And his father is my first cousin. So given the research that he did, we narrowed my birth father to 5 potential men. And I believe one of them is my birth father. And so just going back to my recent trip with my now husband in October 2019, at that time I had more resources because I am pretty involved with the local adopted community here in New York City. And in addition to meeting with Eastern Social Welfare Society again to review my birth file, I also met with GOAL and the National Center for Rights of the Child. And because GOAL is run by Korean adoptees, I had faith and trust in them that they really had my best interest in mind. And they were very transparent in how they were going to go about my search. And I actually learned more information through the National Center for Rights of the Child.
I see.
So according to paperwork from the birth clinic where I was born, my my birth mother, she was 33 years old, and they had a general area where she was living at that time.
I see.
But Eastern Social Welfare Society said that my birth mother was 25 years old. So I don't know where the discrepancy is, but I learned that on my second trip in 2019. So I was there about a week with my husband, and then we came back to New York, and in December, I received a message from my contact at GOAL that he had some news for me, and we spoke on Kakao Talk, and he shared with me that the National Center for Rights of the Child, they did find my birth mother.
Okay.
And they told her about me, and she just was in complete shock and not at all ready to speak or see me. And I just was happy to hear that she knows that I'm alive. And then a couple days after that, not even a week, my contact at GOAL reaches back out to me and mentioned that we had to talk. And then he told me that unfortunately, the caseworker at National Center for Rights of the Child, she mixed up my file with another Korean adoptee named Heather from New York.
Okay.
And that was just devastating. So it honestly took me over a year and a half to start my search again.
There's another surprise on your trip to Korea back in 2019. What was it? Tell us. So I just briefly mentioned that you had a surprise there. Now, should we welcome Mr. Hassani Kittens to our table?
Yes, yes.
Woo! Hello, Hassani.
Hi.
There's another Homiyang t-shirt right there, right?
Homiyang.
Yeah, there you go. Now, you went on to the travel to Korea with Heather. What was it like? And tell us the secret of your own plan to propose to her.
So I think, I'm not sure when we had decided to go to Korea for my birthday. I know we went to Barbados for her birthday on July 4th, which is kind of my, ancestral home. And so it was like just, we went to Barbados for her birthday. So we're going to like her hometown for my birthday.
I like that.
And,
I like that.
Yeah. And, we love to travel. I love to travel. She loves to travel. And so we're going there. And then, we had been together for, I think, 3 years at that point. And it was, I knew I was going to propose. I was, in love with her and I wanted to get married. And so then I just started thinking that Korea would be a really good place. And then I got a ring and everything, and I don't know if we talked about the ring, but it was kind of a big deal. And so then I didn't have a specific, like when we went to Barbados and some other places we've been, but we kind of established this tradition in Barbados that like our first day, we kind of, when we go to this place, we like to go to a kind of a very natural spot, like something that we get back to nature. Since we live in New York City, it's kind of nice on your first day of vacation to just kind of just go hard into nature and just kind of get that into your system and out of your system. And so I didn't know. So I had the ring in my pocket, and I didn't even know if I was going to get stopped on the line for the TSA. And I had an idea that if they did stop me, if they said anything, and they were like, "Could you check this out, sir?" I might have gone to my knee right there on the line in the airport. But that didn't happen. I got through, and so the first day, which were just the first day was my birthday. I think because of the way the weekend and everything, the trip was planned. We got there. I think the first full day was my birthday. We got there on the 19th at night, and then on my birthday, we were decided to. And she actually kind of planned it out. She was like, "What do you want to do?" I'm like, "I want to go hiking in a mountain or something like that."
Okay.
And so I was like, I knew it was like a special mountain, Bukhansan, and I kind of looked it up, and I knew it was like it's kind of very Buddhist connections, and I'm a big fan of Buddhism, and I used to study a lot of Buddhism. I still study a lot of Buddhism. I study all the religions. So I'm not like a Buddhist. I am a Buddhist, but I'm like a Jew and a Muslim and a Hindu and a Christian and an atheist at the same time. And maybe not an atheist, but and so we went to this mountain, and I was like, "Oh, you know what? I think this mountain could be a good place to propose."
Oh yeah.
And as we were going up it, I kept just kind of thinking about like, "Yeah, is this a good place?" I was like, and I had it, and I didn't have a lot on me except some shorts and like a thing, but I had this really big pointy box in my my pocket the whole time. And then we got near the top, or there's this, it was a weird situation because most people were going on this main path, and we were trying to find that golden Buddha, and we didn't really know where. And then this kind of random lady who was like in a house on the mountain showed us where. We didn't even know she was real. Like we don't think she actually really existed. She might have been a ghost or something. And so then it was like a really long hike up to the Buddha, and then when we were getting there, as I started to see it in like kind of sunlight in the distance, I was like, "Yeah, this is a good place." And so then we went around it, and there was this bell, and there was like steps up to the bell. And then I started thinking of what to say, and I said, we got to she was going up the steps before me, and then we had just walked up like I don't know 1,000 steps of this mountain, Bukhansan. And so I said, we've taken all these steps together. Will you take one more with me? And then I got onto my knee and gave her the ring.
Wow.
But it was impromptu for the most part.
So make sure you stick right next to her and helping her all the way to achieve the goal, right? And now
I feel like I'm learning Korean. Like I'm pretty good with languages. I think
Is
I
that
have a lot
right?
of different languages.
Okay.
I learned French and Spanish when I was a kid, so I feel like I'm learning more Korean than even she is, just so I can help. Like I know how to say. I think I can still say Happy New Year. Say hey, money, buck, gun, say oh. Guseyo.
Woohoo! 새해 복 많이 받으세요. Wow.
Guseyo.
새해 복 많이 받으세요.
Yeah, I learned to count to 4 just riding the subway. Some, maybe that was wrong, probably. But when I'm over there, I was really getting good at Korean.
I see.
At Hangul, and I want to really like immerse myself in the language and the culture so that I can use my journalism skills in Korean to help her. Because even over there, when we were talking to people, I kind of was feeling like an investigator, like I had like extra level of questions, especially with kind of a little bit of an emotional distance from it.
I see. Now this time, she might need your shoulder. Heather, now, out of blue, you get a phone call, and you sit down with your mom, birth mom, and you're talking to her. And let's say she's watching this video, even if you don't have any a phone call from anybody. Now you're ready to say something to her. Please.
Hi, Mom. Ho Ukja. Thank you so much for bringing me into this beautiful universe. I am not upset with you that you put me up for adoption. I respect your decision. I love you unconditionally, and I am so grateful for this opportunity for us to reunite, and I am looking forward to us learning about each other, and I just love you. Love you.
Do you have any plan to do anything more? Any steps or going back to Korea again? Any plans you have?
I would definitely love to go to Korea more, and then next steps is I am currently in contact with Go, and they are helping me find my birth mother, and the birth father connection is through my second cousin who lives in Los Angeles, and I do need to reconnect with him. And if it's in my highest interest to meet with my birth mother, my birth father, my birth brothers, then I'm really grateful for that, and I'm open to that. I'm happy, honestly, just getting a picture to see what they look like. So the journey continues. And for all international adoptees, all of our stories are multi-layered. They're so complex and intricate. And several of my very good Korean adoptee friends have reunited with their birth families. And even though they're in reunion, it doesn't mean that it's perfect. And when I had that mix-up, like, I was honestly very jealous that they are in reunion with their birth families. But I know that my time will come.
I see. Well, on behalf of the Korean community and also on behalf of my company, the Korea Daily, we'll keep our fingers crossed for your reunion. And also, congratulations on your marriage! Woo!
Thank you. Thank you, Ryan.
And thanks for your time, Heather and Sunny.
Thank you.
We'll keep in touch.
감사합니다.
Thank you. 감사합니다.
감사합니다.
영상 보셨습니까? 재밌게? 여러분이 도와주십시오. 이 영상을 혼자 보시지 마시고요. 주변 분들에게 또 여러분들이 속해 있는 커뮤니티에 좀 많이 퍼뜨려 주셨으면 좋겠습니다. 혹시 허미영 씨 또는 친어머니인 허옥자 씨에 대해서 알고 계시면 84년도 7월에 있었던 일입니다. 혹시 두 사람에 대한 기억이나 정보를 알고 계신다면 이 영상 아래에 있는 연락처로 반드시 연락을 주시기 바랍니다. 허미영, 허옥자 씨의 딸이 이렇게 애타게 어머니를 찾고 있습니다. 또 주변에서 혹시 허옥자 씨라는 이름을 들어보신 분들이 있다면 반드시 연락 주시기 바랍니다. 룩킹포맘은 경동나비의 미국법인이 후원해 주셨습니다. 다시 한번 감사드리고요. 저희 영상은 광고 수익을 내지 않습니다. 엄마의 사랑에 가격표를 붙일 수는 없는 이유와 비슷하다고 생각해 주십시오. 최인성이었습니다. 다음 인터뷰에서 다시 만나겠습니다. 여러분 고맙습니다.
Hello everyone, it's a pleasure to meet you. My name is Yoonhemi and I am the president of National Center for the Rights of the Child, also known as the NCRC. The NCRC is the one and only government institute in Korea responsible for developing and implementing child policies and child welfare related projects. Well, every year we handle about 2,000 requests from adoptees to find their birth families and support them with our post-adoption services. Well, we are working diligently and we are here to listen to you and to help you navigate the search process in any way we can. We are working to enhance the adoption information disclosure system as well as the laws and system in Korea so that adoptees wishing to reunite with their birth families can access necessary information with ease. We will also expand the DNA test program to help more adoptees with little records about their birth parents successfully reconnect with their birth families. We are always here to help you find your family. We want your search to be successful. We are working closely with the government and the other agencies and are supporting network building for the adoptee communities. The NCRC and Korean government will continue to listen to you and aid your journey to reconnect with your birth family. Thank you. 감사합니다.